Guys, hello and welcome to the Library TV network. We are right here at CashAPP where in the police argue Gregory Coleman is appearing on this platform to discuss about the locals on. Keep posted and consistently copying like and sharing coming on Facebook and YouTube channel.
Whether you get his health certificate, I'm not interested in that. This guy is last, so we get to that.
We should be worried. We should be maxed up here because I don't know what.
When Jesus told Lazarus from the grave, Lazarus was not smiling then. So don't wear mask.
Okay.
So let's get to the issue. Monrovian School Day one on a Monday. With this no go soon with the motorcyclists. How far are we with that?
So let me begin by first and foremost commending the motorcyclists for the peaceful protest that they continue to carry out. We at the LB remain committed to protecting human rights and dignity and enforcing the laws of the land. More so, I would like to also commend STAND. I think it's an acronym for a new organization that is directed by Mobamolu. They've taken the plight of the motorcyclists to the Supreme Court. They pray for a writ.
A writ of prohibition?
Yeah.
Or injunction on your action?
A writ of prohibition. And we were at the Supreme Court yesterday. We had a conference with the justice in chamber, giving reasons.
So the case is ongoing.
Yes, it is. It is. Giving reasons as to why the action is necessary. And let me just say this.
Which lawyer? Sorry, do you have a lawyer? Who's your lawyer representing you? Is it Council of Freeman?
Well, the governor of Liberia, represented by the Ministry of Justice.
You have a lawyer.
No. The Ministry of Justice. I mean, all of the Solicitor General. So the action is not just against the Liberia National Police, against the government of Liberia.
Okay.
Represented by the Ministry of Justice and the Liberia National Police. So you have the Solicitor General and their team of lawyers representing us yesterday. Let's look at the affected communities on peace and security issues and alternative sustainable livelihood. And when I didn't think of coming back to government again, that was my desired contribution to continue to work with young people to advance the cause of livelihood, creating jobs and stuff for young people, because that's the way of maintaining and sustaining the peace. So the issue of the motorcyclists here, we're not discussing an action that takes away their livelihood. We're not saying you cannot ride a motorcycle. At the court yesterday, you had a great number of cyclists outside of the court, in the yard of the LMP, and even in the chamber with us. How did they get there? We're not obstructing the movement of any citizen, the free movement of any citizen. It's how you get to where you're going. And the Constitution and growing out of the Constitution, the Police Act, the Vehicle and Traffic Law empowers the police to make decisions on the safety of its citizens. So we are the ones that the state empowered, trained and empowered to make informed decisions as to what the citizens need to do to keep them safe.
Right.
And it also requires the citizen to listen to us when we talk. You say what? Adhere to the police instruction.
Right.
For the safety of our people, we've made a great call. And if you look at it, we looked at what's the number one killer? Is it crime? No. Accident. Who are the number one victims in these accidents? Motorcyclists and keke riders. Where are most of the major accidents occurring? Right within this particular belt that we're now restricting for the safety of our people. And look, sometimes we think that everybody know what is right and what they should do, but that's unfortunate because that's not the case. In this case, we're saying we're going to help you to make sure we have you riding under safe conditions in safe places so as to safeguard your life that you may not care about or you may not understand the danger you're posing to yourself and those who will commit to ride along with you. And that, look, we're not saying do not ride. We only cut off a small tiny portion of the entire country and say, let's keep this pace. Look, we're hoping to get to a point where we build a culture of safety which does not exist here at all, because 90% of the people you see in vehicles are vehicle movers and not drivers. You learn how to start a car.
What's the difference?
You learn how to start a car. You know how to change the gear. You know how to move it from point A to point B, but you don't have one clue of the rules of the road. So as a result, there's no culture of safety.
Okay.
The people who are crossing the road don't know where to cross the road. The people who are riding on the road don't know how to even use the road. And that's why we're coming up with all these educational programs to help to safeguard the lives of our people and to start to build this culture of safety. And the reason why we want this culture to be established is because we, the police, don't have to run behind you, because now you understand the importance of safety. You understand the importance of safeguarding your own life and those who follow you on these bikes. We want to reach to that point where we can now relax and say, now that everybody understands, I think we can freely go everywhere because we will keep each other safe. But until we reach to that point where that culture is established and we're able to reduce accidents, the occurrence of accidents in certain areas, there will have to be restrictions just to safeguard the life. In this era,
but Aji, there's something though. I mean, a few months ago, before you came up with this action that many people are terming to be draconian, you asked these people to register their bikes.
Let me just stop you.
So you did all of those things. You showed all of that.
Okay, but listen,
that was business transaction. Now you led them to do all of that.
Exactly.
Why then are you stopping them from reaching a certain point?
They did not register their bike or pay insurance or wear helmet to ride in Sinker, to use the roads within the Republic of Liberia. The law is very clear. In order for it to be considered a motor vehicle to use the road, it must meet those requirements. I mean, we're just restricting just
regardless of where you
okay. If you will use the road to go to Southtown to your uncle home, Southtown.
No, I'm from Lofa.
I'm from Grandson. I'm from Southtown.
You're from Grandson. Okay, I'm from Galway. So to use the road to go to Galway, you still need to register here. You need to register that particular vehicle you're operating. So it's not because you pay for registration. Yes. So it was our hope that, getting them compliant, getting them riding under safer conditions would have, helped the situation. But registration with all the culture of safety still doesn't negate the fact that people are still dying.
Could you have done it differently without just abruptly halting their shutting down their movement to certain locales?
Well, it wasn't an abrupt action. There was a timeline given. They requested extension. It was extended. And this particular action was in line.
Because they gotta be
so T-Max, the first thing, after 3 months, we should have extended this particular area of onto the freeway. Okay. To cover the entire freeway. They asked for an extension. That we need more time to become compliant and stuff like that. So please give it to us. We give it to them. When the extension expired, we extended it again. Wow. So we did not even go beyond where we should have been covering by now with this particular enforcement exercise. Look,
what was your initial plan?
T-Max, we considered a lot of factors here before taking this decision. It took us almost a year going back and forth. We considered the livelihood component. We considered the public transport component. We considered the inconveniences that, these restrictions could cause. Here is it. We all have our parts to play to make the government functional. I cannot sit down and not play the part that you all pay me with your taxes to play just because the other parts to complement it are not there. And the one thing, over 80% of people who have formed perception about law enforcement officers do not come to the police station and interact with us. They form it based on what they see in the street. They form it based on how we conduct ourselves, how we conduct the flow of traffic, how we do things out there. And we're being graded wrongly simply because we're waiting for everything to complement each other before we can start our work. And then T-Max sit down in the station and he tried to compare me with a friend that my friend was doing better when he had only 8 cars in Moruga. Now that they got almost
400,000.
Why don't we go there? We're not going there. So let's get to this. There was one protest that we all feared that it would be chaotic, based on the political pairing, the political lining with those that were protesting. What was the magic? Because intelligence informed us that there was some political infiltration. One political party infiltrated, intended to make this thing chaotic, but it didn't turn out to be that way. What was the method applied that made it so smooth that we didn't have any unfortunate situation?
So, thank you, T-Max. If you look at the number of motorcyclists that are affected by this enforcement exercise, it's a minute portion in terms of the overall community of motorcycle and tricycle operators. You have them spread all around the country. Only this group that's running right in between here that we're now asking to run everywhere else around this space. Like I said, I commend the cyclists because they've followed the law. The Constitution allows for people to protest. Growing out of the Constitution, there are provisions that require you that if you're going to use the public space and cause inconveniences for other people who are not a part of your protest, get to the Ministry of Justice, seek a permit so that law enforcement can be informed and try to reduce the inconveniences of those who are not a part of it and be able to give you some support and protection while you carry out. They follow due diligence. They apply to the Ministry of Justice. The Ministry of Justice sent it to us. So we're able to work with them and coordinate it. They came to me. I told them, I said, listen, you're welcome. I mean, you just have to, you asked to march. You're going to march. March does not mean you're coming with motorcycle to protest. They agreed to that, and we've been very, very cooperative.
So I don't understand. If you people could have all those conversations and think the dialogue, why was the protest necessary?
We've been having dialogue for months. Okay, so T-Max said it right. The action is not just solely about the bikes. There are political actors who are taking advantage of anything that they can find to just bring some form of destabilization. So it's not just about the bike. So you got to understand that. Because even in that meeting, they were broken up into different groups who did not even want to protest. One group was clear. Our intent is not to protest. Our intent is to get back on the road. But we want to seek that through dialogue. The other group is saying, yes, I mean, if we can't get it through the dialogue, we're going to go to the court. The other group was just bent on the fact that they were there to protest.
They even came up with potato greens. Usually when tear gases are used, that's what the people use to reduce the burning sensation in the eyes and thing, but they never used the potato greens. Why didn't you use
it? Listen, when you remain peaceful, we will guide you. There will be no violation of it. As long as you listen to the instruction from the law enforcement officer or the officers assigned out there through all your protests, you would never have any confrontation. The thing is, most times when you see protests going violent, the original intent was to get exactly to that point, to just come and agitate the officers just so that it can reach to a point where there's just chaos.
What do you make of the president of the Motorcyclists Association that they were infiltrated by the CDC? How true is that? What is the truth in that infiltration? Did your intelligence confirm that the political,
specifically CDC?
We can definitely confirm that yes, there has been infiltration. There's continuous infiltration with it. We've seen people who I think the NSA will be able to inform analysis about this, but for us, we've been able to identify people who were in the protest who write supportive messages about the Congress as well, whether they are partisans sent by the party, but they were part of that. They were definitely part of that protest. We picked up some very key political actors within that the planning and the march itself. Well, there was no need to make an arrest. I mean, they were exercising their constitutional right. I mean,
but they're not motorcyclists.
Well, even if they're not motorcyclists, the motorcyclists call for a protest in solidarity. They joined.
Okay.
I mean, as long
so
as
you protected all of them.
As long as you remain peaceful, why do we have to escalate? Look, we only escalate the use of force on the basis of the response of those who come against the police. If you come, you're nice, you're singing Kumaya, we're going to be there and say, praise the Lord as well.
Let me make a suggestion, Tima. Well, then maybe whether you can see the sense in it. What if you do it this way, that you conduct trainings for these people and make them to understand basic traffic rules and how to operate in the city? All of us are victims of the fact that these people are not plying the streets. Does that make sense?
Me too. I'm a victim as well.
How are you a victim? I know one time I saw you getting down from your car around Bytown and you got on the back.
Thank you.
Yeah, I remember that.
Why did he do that?
He did that. I was standing right there.
I ride bike all the time.
You got on the bike.
I ride bike all the time. So we're all victims one way or the other, but this is a greater good action. It's a greater good action.
Can we approach it differently without having to restrict them permanently?
Well, I mean, that is something that could be considered in different ways. I wish the circumstances here were different. I wish this was a society with a culture of safety and everything. Until you can build that, look, let me tell you, if you decide to take your life, it's my responsibility as a law enforcement officer. Maybe you don't understand the value of your life, but this country loves you, the country needs you, and we're going to make sure that we do everything to protect you so as to not take it. Those who are taking this extreme risk of operating in these areas under unsafe conditions, I mean, we're there to protect them. This is a protection of our people.
So all this come now.
But this is it. The unfortunate part about this entire enforcement exercise is not just the fact that the motorcyclists are angry. It's the fact that we find ourselves in a society that law enforcement is a cultural shock to the people. Like, if you decide to do what government Liberia pay you for, enforce the law, you become an evil person. For some reason, I mean, since the war, there's just been a complete breakdown that nobody wants to follow any law. People believe this place should be lawless. People should be left alone to do anything they want. And we are here to rebuild this country. We've committed our lives. We've committed our time and everything to ensure that it is done better.
Are you saying, IG, sir, that the discharge of the duty is sort of affecting your relationship with the communities, with the citizens in general?
Well, I mean, on the basis of the fact that people do not understand, and listen, nobody's wrong.
Make them too.
Nobody is wrong. Nobody is wrong because you only make decisions based on how much information you have. And then unfortunately, we have other mechanisms that are just bent on sending this information out to the public. So it makes it seem as though the law enforcers are the bad guys. But yet and still, as soon as something happens, they who try to make the people to stand up against law enforcement, they come running to us. And whenever it goes down, who shows up? We do. It's the police.
So okay, so we will hope that there's some understanding between the police and the motorcyclists, and when the time reaches for us to make some relaxation in that. I'm not taking that break, our producer, just giving a chance for us. Let me have some more time with
So Tima, not understanding. Okay, so you know, let's leave. Look, that's why I'm so happy that Mr. Morley took this case to the court, because the court will now decide if the court tell us it tomorrow, Mr. IG, you have no authority to enforce that which you're doing. You're infringing the rights of these people. I will come right back here on this stage. I will sit down. I will bow my head. I will tell you, I say, Tima, help me to beg the people for me. I am very sorry. I hold it for, and I will remove all of the checkpoints, start the restriction with immediate effect. But let the court decide.